Welcome back to Surviving Horror, the show where we take a look at different games in the horror genre and dissect what is the scariest aspect of each story, in my opinion. This week, we're going back to outer space to talk about Alien Isolation, released in 2014 and developed by Creative Assembly, in an effort to discover what happened to her mother and the lost ship she was aboard. Amanda Ripley and the crew of the USCSS Torrens board Sevastopol Station, but unbeknownst to them, a creature of their worst nightmares is waiting for them. For the final episode of this show, I get to talk about what I believe to be the most suspenseful game of all time. Out of all the titles that I have discussed over the last few months, Alien Isolation was the game that raised my heart rate to a level that I didn't know it could reach. For every other game that I have talked about, I had to give some thought as to what scared me the most, but there was no second thought about Alien Isolation. The scariest thing about the game isn't some psychological narrative or the setting that the game takes place in. It's the game's most iconic feature. In 1979, Ridley Scott's film Alien introduced the world to the xenomorph. In 2014, Alien Isolation gave players an idea as to what those characters were up against in the film. The AI of the alien operates similar to that of Chris Walker from Outlast or Mr. X from Resident Evil 2, where you can't kill it and your only options are to run or hide. But what makes this perfect organism stand out above the other enemies mentioned is just how intelligent it is. As the game goes on, this creature slowly picks up on how you play the game, forcing you to change up your strategy as the missions unfold. This can be credited to what the developers call the behavior tree instilled in the AI. This feature is what allows the xenomorph to switch up how it stalks you throughout the Sevastopol. If you spend the early game hiding in lockers to avoid detection, by Chapter 9 the AI has already figured this out, and will head straight for the lockers to look for you. Despite several horror games adopting this type of enemy, none of them have been able to duplicate the tension and stress that the xenomorph has given gamers around the world. While the creature has been around since the late 1970s, it was never scarier than it was in this game. The other major accomplishment that Alien Isolation pulls off is its authenticity to Ridley Scott's original motion picture. The team at Creative Assembly had the film playing at all times in the offices during the development period, and the attention to detail pays off. From the design of the locations, to the wardrobe of the characters, every detail in every chapter feels straight from the 1979 classic. Alien Isolation sold over 2 million copies in its first year. Despite being released to moderately positive reviews, the game has developed a massive fanbase since its release, with even the creators of Alien Romulus crediting the game as a big inspiration. With a sequel finally in development and a television show airing on Hulu, the xenomorph shows no signs of slowing down anytime soon. If you have played this game, please let us know what you think of it down below. Thank you for joining me throughout this semester, and check back in a few months for a new season of Gen 2. This has been Jake Walker with Surviving Horror.